Another question from the audience here. Do you have a favorite song in the show? Was there a specific difficult part of the show to write?
Well, Costume Party is the most rewritten song. I'll say that. I don't know if I have a favorite. You can't really pick your children.
And why is Costume Party the most rewritten?
You know, it started off as a duet between Captain Bass and Diane, and it was inspired by something that the characters of Nick and Diane told us, that it felt like a costume party with everyone wearing donated clothing and trying on new identities. And we were also contrasting it against Captain Beverly Bass, who was watching her industry fall apart, but also having to be strong, and so needing to wear this costume of this pilot's uniform.
And I was obsessed with the idea of two women singing together, not about a guy and not in love with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so eventually we broke it into a four-hander, but that was complicated because we had two characters who were excited about the opportunities of being in Newfoundland, and two characters who were really desperate to get home. And so finding a chorus that worked for everyone and finding a structure that worked, that still interwove Beverly, who became not one of those characters, it was a real challenge, but the work that went into it was really interesting, because it was right in the middle of the piece, and everyone was pitching in ideas and thoughts, and we were going over and over it with Chris. My favorite piece from the show, and I agree with Irene, you can't choose from your babies, but my favorite one is the final number. We had written the whole thing in La Jolla, and Chris asked us at the very end, as the audience was leaving, if the band could play some exit music. And we were like, sure, we can, we'll put something together. And with our incredible music director, just a shout out to Ian Eisendrath, our music supervisor, and also August Eriksman, our orchestrator, we quickly threw together, themes from the show, some jigs and reels and singles, all of these things we'd learned about Newfoundland music. And we had the band sort of play them, and the band is hidden in the trees on the distance, and the audience wouldn't leave. They just kept clapping and wanting more. It was the worst exit music ever. And so eventually Chris was like, okay, let's have them come out a little bit and we can clap for them. And then eventually Kelly Devine started giving them choreography, and it became this whole live music show. And what's wonderful about it is everyone comes into the show. Many people come in thinking, I'm worried about where the show might go. I'm worried that I have these wounds that I haven't looked at in 20 years now. And by the end of it, we've taken you to a Newfoundland kitchen party, and you have become a Newfoundlander, and everyone is dancing and clapping along to this Newfoundland band on stage. And there's something really wonderful about that. So I love the music because of that, because it embodies everyone's work, and it clearly shows, that people they transform by watching the show, and it's amazing to see.